Sup, homies? I'm Daniel Rumbles,
And I'm S.A.G.A Emcee.
and this is the show no one asked for, episode 3. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Glad to be back. How you doing, Saga? How you doing? How
I'm
are
good.
you?
Well, you know what? I'm feeling a little down. You know, I'm feeling a little of sorts, if you will.
Um, about
Yeah.
being down on Instagram, we had some midnight meow boy. He said he had a comment, and he was actually addressing our last episode. Is
It's
it-
cool. I don't want to talk about my feelings anyway. I don't want you to hear them.
You know what? I knew that. I knew that. And so that's why
Smart
that's,
man.
yeah.
Push my feelings and my tears back in my
Yeah.
eyes.
Masculinity. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but Midnight Meow Boy says on Instagram, he said that he actually agrees with you about the Nicole Kidman intro to the movie shit. And he says Nicole just doesn't. Well, first he says I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Daniel. I agree with Saga. Says
Of
Nicole just
course.
doesn't sell it to me. It's a little cheesy for my taste. So you have someone that agrees with you, fortifies your position. But I
Yeah.
did have something to say about it, and I think it kind of, although it seems like it fortifies your position, I think it kind of makes my point, or the point that I was making originally in the episode, which was
Okay.
you need to watch. So you need to watch all the movies, good, bad. Then that's really when you love movies. And I don't necessarily think you were disputing that, but I was making a correlation with like why that didn't hit for you. And again, if you pocket like a million movies, right? You're going to have more leeway for not what sucks, but you're gonna have more of a give for the understanding of how movies are made. So then and that coupled with how many movies have made you feel exactly what she's saying. So then it would hit harder. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Louis, right? It's like your brother.
Who
It's your
who
brother-in-law.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows who that is?
No,
Don't
but what
know.
I'm saying is that
No one was paid. No one was paid to do that or to leave that comment. Just saying.
check the
Nobody.
books. Check the books. No, but I'm glad he did, because again, like I said, I think it proves my point, because you told me, or from my understanding is that you show him a lot of movies that are like kind of like movies that a movie buff should have already seen or grown up seeing, or maybe classics or cult classics, or just movies that may be underrated, that not a lot of people know. But from what my understanding is, that you
Mhm.
actually go out of your way to recommend movies for him and watch
Right.
them together with him and stuff. So he kind of puts you in the same pocket, like not in the same. Obviously, you're showing him, but then like there's movies that I feel like when I talk to you sometimes, and you're like, no, I've never seen that, and I'm like, oh, what the, like, that's crazy,
Right.
because I know you have seen a lot. I'm not saying you have to have seen a bunch, but what I'm saying is like maybe if you've seen the magnitude of what's really out there, then that Nicole Kidman shit. First off, you would have given her more maybe appreciation. Maybe the same with Louis, right? And or just the words themselves. Even if you take Nicole Kidman out, just the bars. If you just by hearing the bars, like that would have hit you harder probably. Does that make sense? And rather than it
So
being like you're too cool for school, kind of like she's acting. Well, obviously she's acting, but you're like that kid standing on the side, like kind of like your fellow classmates are like acting, and they're saying some bars, but this fool from third period, so it's just like not. It's not working. It's not like hitting you. You know what I mean? You're like, dude. But if like a kid from another school came and heard this, it would be like, oh shoot, that's sick. You know what I mean? Because he'd have
right.
more appreciation for it. You know what I'm saying?
So okay. A couple of things.
Right.
One, yes, like I do show him, films. I'm like, oh, dang, you haven't seen this, or you haven't heard about this, or you should check this out. But the
Right.
the beauty about him is that he actively watches movies. Like it was not like he's not one of those that are like, oh, like I don't know where to start or what to look for. Like he has movies that he enjoys, and movies like that is stuff that he'll gravitate towards. But then he also, act like us, will actively find stuff, you know, for word of mouth or just because we saw something that kind of looked cool or interesting, he'll go out of his way and he'll look like so he's in the trajectory of becoming this like big movie buff, you know.
Right, right,
Not to say that he isn't already, but I
right,
know there's
right,
key movies that he hasn't seen
right.
that are, you know, but he's actively searching and, you know, trying to catalog all these movies. So I feel like he's in the middle of both.
Mm,
And my thing was it's not that I don't want to see like everything or, you know, as many movies as possible, right?
right.
I think what I was wanting to say, or I guess it just didn't come out that way, is more so that like those films that are gonna suck
Mm,
or look like they're gonna suck or people have said sucked, they okay not watching for a while. You get
right,
what I'm saying?
right, right.
Like you're like, oh, we want to see how bad it can get. True,
Yeah,
but do I need to see that right now if I can like squeeze in a better movie? You
yeah,
know, like
yeah.
I think it's like time management for me.
Right. No, and very much so. I mean, look, we complain about like sequels and unoriginality in Hollywood and all this, and then this weekend we had what two, three, four original movies: Opus, I think Black Bag, Novocaine, and what was the other one? The big one, Mickey 17. These are original movies, and like no one went out to go see them. And this is what we complain about. We're like, oh, where's the
Right.
originality? Where's the no sequels? Where's the original stories? Make your own stuff so that we can build on it. New
Hmm.
stuff. Here we go, a handful of what seems like decent movies, and we can't, we don't do it. We don't go out. And I'm not saying like you or me specifically. I'm just saying like in general, like as a society, we complain about
Right.
it, and then here we're gifted this, and then it doesn't work out. You know, but
Yeah.
I do agree with you. It's not even like a choice really. Like obviously you're a movie fan, and obviously Louis is a movie fan too, but it's like it's a like a physical factual choice you have to make, because time is finite. Like you only have so many hours in the day, so it's like,
Right.
or the weekend, let's say, right? And especially when you have kids, and so then it's like, yeah, obviously you have to pick and choose at times, right? At times you have to pick and choose. So like I
Mhm.
definitely I get your point too. I get the point, and I do understand. I know Louis too, and I know he loves movies. So I wasn't even saying that he doesn't love movies. I'm just saying like because of that love of movies, he's like seeing more movies, right? He's like packing
Right.
more movies on and more on. But
Look,
and I'm not saying I've seen every movie either, right? So
well, that'd be impossible. I think that'd be impossible.
yeah, yeah, it's impossible. But I do, since I was little, I've tried to like catalog as many as I can. Like if there's a franchise out, I try to like finish that. I do it like by franchise, so then it's all done. I've seen it all, and then you're caught up, and then you only see like whatever else is out, and stuff that you miss
Right.
along the way. But I guess everybody does that, but it's just their own time management or what's going on in their life and stuff like that. So I'm not poop talking. I was just saying, like, I think the words themselves, because of like the weight of how many movies, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
they hit hard. That stuff hit hard for me, but
So I think so. The other point for me was, again, I don't want to, spend too much time on Nicole Kidman because
right.
she doesn't give a shit about this podcast for
She
sure.
doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
But if she did, I would say, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel it could have been maybe a different person. And again, maybe it's just that person I just didn't resonate with,
Right.
because
Right.
there are
Right.
things that
Exactly.
people, they just don't watch, even though it's amazing. Like,
Hmm.
they're just like, I'm just not going to watch it,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
it's amazing,
True. True. No, that makes
you know?
sense. That makes sense. No, but yeah, I mean, and again, for like you said, there's varying factors. It could be the actor themselves, the way it's written, the way, the lighting. That's why all this stuff is a
Right,
craft, right? And it's crazy, and you can do it with live action or animation stuff. You can do it with shows and live action shows, animation
right,
shows, movies, and Invincible just finished. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't know.
So I'm not
That
caught up yet. So
oof.
I know.
Oh man,
But, yeah.
dude.
So I
I'm
mean,
not.
I'll
I,
catch up this week.
so I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna
Okay.
spoil it because like that would be so rude. But I for all those people watching that have seen Invincible and like just wow that the fight. Oh wait, I don't want to say anything, but the finale's out, right? And so it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's some of the craziest television I've ever seen in my entire life. In my entire life. It's isn't that
Wow.
crazy? It's yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that. It's like that. And it's animation, you know? And some fools won't even watch animation. Movie lovers won't watch like animation movies or show or whatever because it's and I get it. It's a piece of paper, you know, a bunch of pieces of paper drawn a bunch of times and show them real fast. You know what I mean? I
Right.
get it. I get it. But it's like there's a craft to that, and I think in the end it's all about storytelling, right? So like if you're telling a good story in a good way, then why does the vessel matter? Why does the vessel matter? I don't understand.
Right.
If I
I
like I
agree
like
with that. Yeah.
comics, books, movies, shows, animation, live action. I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
if I think, yeah, because if you factor it, if you were, not able to see these things, but only
Mhm.
hear them, right? If you were
Right.
blind and you can only hear them, like the acting would still be the same because
Right.
you're hearing the dialogue, you're hearing the passion or lack thereof in words. So it would, to me, you wouldn't be able to distinguish, like if you were listening to live action
Right.
versus, an animated
Right.
film. I don't think people would be like, oh no, this isn't real. What you're
Right.
watching is, I can tell, is just a cartoon.
Yeah. And people used to like that's how we used to watch like TV is on the radio, right? Is like
Right.
we used to listen to the Dick Tracy and the Batmans and the Flash
Yeah.
Gordons on the radio, you know?
The talkies,
And
right? Were they called talkies?
yeah, talkies, the little talkies, you know, and and imagine just being like, nah, like not for me. Like what? It's all we got right now. Like yeah, but in the
Yeah.
future we're gonna be able to implant stuff in my brain. So unless we have it like that, then I'm not. And it's I don't know. I just think it's like a weird. It's like when people say I love music. I'm a music lover. Oh really? Yeah, everything except country. And it's like but for me it doesn't that doesn't make sense to me because even if I were to grant that like at a young age like okay I only listen to classic rock metal hip hop
Right.
jazz tribal stuff but I didn't really listen to country so even if I were to grant that as like as a young kid eventually I started hearing like more and more songs that I did like but imagine if I would have been like, I just don't like country, and then just never heard country because, or like, I just have this like weird ick before I've even heard the song. I don't know. It's just like a weird, like, and again, it's the same thing with like the animation. Like, no, I'm not watching it. Why? It's animation. Like, no, right, but
Right.
this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, you don't understand. Like the lines, the story is insane. You just please give it a chance. No, I will not because like it's not for like not for me. I don't know. It's weird to do that with like certain. I I guess there's certain art that people can do it, and that's I guess to the individual taste. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that? Like
So
people doing that in general, you know?
I don't think I can agree with like people not liking country in comparing it to like animation, only for the fact that like the music is, you can like genres of music, right? You can like, oh, I like this kind of tempo, I like this kind of genre style of sound, right? But it's all still sound. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like film, like the dialogue is the style is, whether it's realistic, black and white, noir, right? Animation, but regardless, it's still storytelling. So for someone to be like, I don't want to watch this animation because it's an animation, but it's like, then that means you're telling me that even if the story is good, like storyline will not get you. So you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, if the storyline is good, I'll read it, I'll
Hmm.
watch it, I'll hear it, but it's because it's the foundation is still a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but actually, I know that I said that and that was the foundation of my entire position. But now hearing you say it, I kind of refute it. And I don't think it's necessarily storytelling. So this is the correlation, right?
Right.
It's not storytelling, and because I think it's just like I don't even know the word for it, but like a factory for emotions, right? So like when you're and this goes for music, this goes for animation, live action, this goes for paintings on a wall. They're not
Mm,
really stories, right? So like if you look at something like a dope picture, like like these pictures back here, if you look at them, like yeah, they're dope, but there's no story. You know what I mean? It's a feeling that you get like from
right.
and same thing with and you can make that correlation with music. Sometimes there's no story. It just sounds like you said. It just sounds good, and you like it. I guess this is more to your point of like why people can and cannot like it. But what I'm saying
Mm,
is I don't necessarily think it's a story. Same thing with movies, right? There's movies that we like where the story is crap. The story is absolute garbage. We don't watch it because of the story. We watch it because of the feeling that it gives us. You know what I mean? Like John
yeah.
Wick is not that deep. It's dope. It's just not that deep. It's like a revenge story. Like we've seen a revenge story. It's not that deep. We're not watching it
Yeah.
for the story. We're watching it
John
because
Wick.
we want to
John
see
Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick is the greatest story ever told. Okay.
Yeah. No, that well, I was about to say Star Wars is the greatest story ever told.
John
But
Wick.
I don't know about lately. But John Wick is not. Get the hell out of here. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, are there any animations that you would show to someone that is like that it just refutes to see animation where you're just like, no, this one you have to see? Are there any animations like that for you that you would be like, this is it, and you think you could convince that person by showing them this?
I would say like films by Yamazaki for sure,
Mm, of course,
right?
yeah, 1,000
But,
percent, yeah.
right, like though, like I think you can't watch one of those and
Hmm.
say I didn't like it or eh.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you watch it and you're like, oh shit, like this is something here. Like there's something to be like the stories are always dope. Like the animation is dope. Um, like it's an experience. Like kind of like what you were saying. Like it's something you feel, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But I think also like Akira, right? Akira, right?
Yeah.
I I I bring that up because that was like 1980 or 70 something. I forgot when it was.
Uh,
It's
and it's
it's
so
older,
good. Yeah,
right? It's
it's
it's so
so
good,
good.
right?
Yeah.
And the crazy part is there's the specific scene with his bike, right? And that the power slide with the motorcycle that's in so many different films,
So many
live
things.
action,
Live
yeah,
action.
live action,
Everything. Yeah.
animated,
Yeah.
and people look at that and they're like, "Oh, that's cool," or they
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
but it's in so much, right? So like recently, Sonic 3, came out on Prime,
Hmm.
and I bought it for $10 because on sale, try to look for those deals.
For the kids.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shadow, he does the power slide with the motorcycle up this building, and I was looking
Ooh.
at it, and I did the whole what is it?
Side by
The
side.
no, not the side by side. I did the fucking thing. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Oh.
when he's like pointing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right. I
Yeah.
did that, and then
Yeah.
like everyone was looking at me, like my kids are like. Okay. And I'm like, dude, that's from, and I told them, I'm like, wait, you don't even know what this is from.
Yeah.
But
They have no idea.
I got geeked out, I got geeked out because I was like, dude, that's sick that whoever, I don't, and, pardon me, I don't remember the director of this movie, but, um, offhand, but I was like,
Mhm.
that is sick for the producer I mean, the director or the writer to add that moment and be like, this needs to be in
Forever.
here. This would be right.
Yeah. Forever.
So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
dude. And so I started like telling, my brother-in-law, who may or may not have left that comment that you read, which is
Oh.
totally who
Yeah.
knows who that person was. But
Right. Right. Right.
um, I told him, I'm like, yo, he hasn't seen that movie. I'm like, we have to see this one of these days because that anime is fucking amazing, you know.
Mhm. Oh, he
And
hasn't
here
seen
we
that.
go. No, he hasn't.
See, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Come on. That's you got to see it. And
but
that one.
but
Uh huh.
well, sorry, not sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
But
no.
my thing I was gonna say is like we grow up watching cartoons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you enjoy them and you love them as a kid, right? So
Yeah.
then where I don't understand where in people some people's brains they're just like, we're
They
done.
yeah. That
No more.
that's and even if we grant, oh, they're older. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're not going to
Mhm.
still watch, like Barney, right? When you're 40.
Right.
So like, yes, obviously I understand. I totally get that. But there's some animations where like it doesn't, it transcends age, you know what I mean? Like it's just dope because it's, again, the feelings that it makes you feel are just like,
Right.
whoa, man. Like, we grew up watching Disney, sure, but the Miyazaki films, and then the Dan Bluth films, did you watch
Yeah.
those, like American Tail and
Yeah.
Land Before Time and
Hmm.
Pixar? I mean, like, why stop? Toy Story 3 is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life, ever in my entire life. It's one of the best I've ever seen.
Right.
And so I
And
don't know. Imagine if I said no, I wouldn't experience any of
right.
these moments. It's weird to
And
me.
that one specifically, Toy Story, it's like
Mm.
it's about that feeling of when you were a kid,
It
you
was. It's
know?
about the very feeling that we're talking about. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't want to reminisce on the things that I enjoyed. I'm okay. Like
Yeah.
what?
What? Yeah.
You
It
know,
doesn't
like
make any sense. Yeah, it's a, I mean, but then again, I do think, not that it's, I don't want to get into like nature versus nurture, but like I was raised to watch cartoon. Like the first cartoon that I owned on VHS was an anime, and it was called The Dagger of Kamui. Have you ever heard of that?
no.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it. So it's an epic
Yeah.
about this dude that, has this dagger,
Uh-huh.
and it's been passed down for generations or whatever, and he uses it to defeat this like villain that raided his town and burned everything down, and then like he becomes a ninja, so he joins this like ninja clan and does like
Oh,
ninja
sick.
stuff for years, and then
Right.
like eventually wants to get revenge because he knows that, yeah, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
an it's a time period piece. It's so sick. That used to run repeat on my house. But like, then because of that, then I fell in love with other things on the Spanish channels. They used to show lots of anime. Like I used to
Okay.
watch Saint Seiya. I don't know if you heard of Saint Seiya,
Mhm.
but yeah, so
Yeah.
I grew up watching Saint Seiya. That was like my first anime that I ever watched. And then Dragon Ball Z, of course. They showed all of those in Spanish. You just have to, I thought when I was a kid in elementary school, I didn't know that they were Japanese. I thought anime was a Mexican thing. I thought Mexicans came up with anime. No joke. Literally till I was like in third grade, where like a
Yeah.
friend told me, it's like, no, this is Japanese. And when I went over to his house, he was like showing me like, no, these are Japanese. And I was like, oh man, no, no
Yeah.
freaking way. I didn't get it. But like for a long
Yeah.
time, I was like, man, dude, Mexicans have really good animation and stories. This is so dope.
Yeah.
And it wasn't us at
How
all.
do you say fucking Vegeta or Goku in Spanish?
Goku.
Goku, el Gokui, el
Goku, el
Gokui,
Goku.
el
Goku, Goku.
Goku.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
dude. I have to watch them in Spanish now. I think that would
Dude,
be the shit to just hear
Sailor
them in
Moon.
Spanish.
Sailor Moon I used to watch in Spanish. Like I said, Saint Seiya,
Yeah.
Harlock, the space pirate I used to watch. Evangelion,
Oh, yeah.
Robotech. They had all those on the
Hmm.
Spanish channel, bro. I'm telling you, because we didn't have cable, because
Yeah,
like
neither
we
did
didn't
I.
need everything. It was so expensive, so we didn't have
Right.
cable. So then like I just watched them on those channels. Like that's when I watched it. And then on that we saw Power Rangers. Like me and my brother, we watched Power Rangers in Spanish, but it was the Japanese version with all of the Japanese footage. So it
Right.
was literally just all the Japanese footage just dubbed over in Spanish. So when the Power Rangers came out,
Yeah.
like we recognized everything. We were like, wait, what? This is like the Super Sentai. This is not.
Yeah,
This is Super Sentai. This is not Power Rangers. But we loved because they had a lot of the character development, of them in high school and fighting, putties and
right.
stuff like that. So they added enough footage where we're like, oh, this is dope, and we fell in love with the Power Rangers. But yeah, but
This fucking guy.
yeah, but yeah, we didn't even realize that a lot of these things were Japanese for a long
Wow.
time.
Yeah, it's crazy how like how you discover things or like
Mm.
when you discover things, but like dude, there was times where yeah, I would watch cartoons or and think like I was the only one that found this. Like I was on some
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's wild because like I don't know if you remember and so there's some cartoons that I see my kids watch now and I'm like, dude, this is a straight fucking like rip off
Rip off. Yeah,
of something that I used to watch. So
right.
I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember Eek the cat?
Yeah, of course. Come on,
With his
eat the
fucking
cat. Let's
fat
go.
purple cat.
Hell yeah, yeah. I
So
remember.
so he had a homie named Shark Dog.
Mm.
And so I was like, Shark Dog was the shit. I remember that there was an episode where they used like a Snoop Dogg fucking sound, right? And he's all Shark Dog, Doggy Dog, it's like him rapping. I was like, what? This is crazy.
That's
But then my
funny.
kids watched this thing called fucking Shark. It's like Shark Dog. It's called Shark Dog. It is half shark, half dog, na 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 na. And
Oh,
it's
I think
like
I've seen that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That's
when
crazy.
yeah, when it first came out, I was like, oh shit, Eek the cat, Shark Dog.
Mm.
And and I was like, wait, what is this? And I was
Yeah,
like, dude, this is a fucking ripoff. Like,
yeah.
but nobody knows. Like, apparently like everyone forgot. Like, I don't know.
I mean, we say that, but like there was ripoffs when we were kids too, and they were dope.
No,
They were dope.
no,
Like think
never.
about it. So first off, it's funny because the Turtles are a ripoff of Daredevil, which actually is playing right now. Daredevil is so dope. If you haven't seen Born Again, it's awesome. It is so dope. But yeah, Ninja Turtles is a parody of
Right.
Daredevil. And
Mhm.
so and you know the story, right? So basically the ooze that blinded Daredevil when he got into accident is the ooze that like created the turtles. But
Turtles, yeah.
just that being said, right, in the 80s and 90s there was a bunch of ripoffs of the turtles, and I loved them all. I loved Street Sharks. I loved
Street Shark.
the Battle Toads. I loved
Right.
freaking Biker Mice from Mars. I
Yeah.
loved all of those, like Mummies Alive. I liked all of them, Dino
I don't
Riders, and
remember
all,
that
all
one.
of these. Huh? Mummies Alive?
Mummy's Alive. I don't remember that one.
Oh, bro, you would love it. So it's like, I think it's five different mummies, and they all have different powers. Like one's like fast, one's strong, and they're like a little
Hmm.
super team. But they're this kid like
Right.
kind of accidentally summons this like super team of different magic beings
Mummies.
that are mummies, right? And so then they
Okay.
fight like bad guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these
I don't
were
I
like
don't remember
ripoffs
that at
of.
all.
Yeah, but they were you remember Biker
Yeah.
Mice from Mars and
Oh,
Street
for
Sharks,
sure.
Battletoads.
Yes.
Those are
I
all.
still have my toys. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Now they're at my mom's house, grandma's house. So anytime the kids go over, they like play with the toys that we grew up playing with. But those were
And they just
ripoffs of
break
each
them.
other. You know?
Yeah, but I feel like those ripoffs were if yes, they were ripoffs, but they were very different though.
Yeah,
Like the core is the same, but
yeah,
like the Street Sharks are not turtles.
no, or
You know
bikers.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
biker
yeah.
mice from Mars,
Right.
they like you could if you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, I can see where these got this from that and that from that, but the overall look is different,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
Versus this shark,
I'm all for it.
yeah, this shark is just a fucking shark dog.
It's yeah, it'd be
Like,
like it's just Leonardo and then Leonardo. Like
yeah,
and
like
like they're
what?
just copying it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was and again, the show was okay, you know.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, it's not bad, but in my mind, I'm like, but it's no fucking Eek the cat,
Nah. Eek the
you know?
Cat. Yeah. I didn't watch it too much. I saw episodes, but that wasn't one of my like super favorite ones. I did watch Bobby's World a lot. I remember that one.
Bobby's World.
Yeah, Bobby's
So
World was
so it's
dope.
a trip because like Bobby's World is fucking the voice the voice fuck, what's his name? The voice of Bobby.
Howie Mandel. It's not Howie Mandel, right?
Yeah, it's
Is it?
Howie Mandel. Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah,
So it's just crazy, like when you see him and you're like, and you see his stand up or whatever, and you're like, damn, this fool is a little kid playing a little
yeah.
kid as an
Right.
adult,
Yeah, right.
you know? And we're like, man, Bobby's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. I love Bobby's World because I
Yeah,
remember as a kid I used to think like that, like
right,
just like you're it's and everybody all kids with like some crazy imaginations like
right.
they know what I'm talking about when you're just that kid and you think you're in something that's not happening, but it's like to you it very much is really happening. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
remember being little, like in kindergarten, first grade, and I thought like because I don't know if you remember like the tickets for Disneyland, they were called passports. And so I thought like you legit and they do security on you. I thought it was like customs. I thought we were going to like kind of like a Vatican City, like a state within a state. You know what I mean? Like I
right,
thought that's why we needed a passport and we needed to go through customs. And then once we're there,
sure.
I'm like, dang, there's definitely like people that stay here, you know what I mean? Like it's like that make this function as like a land, you know. I wonder if they go to war with each other or like have disputes. How do they get
Wow.
settled? You know, like it's,
Yeah.
it's like crazy, you know. Dude, I told you,
No.
I thought wrestling was like. Again, I'm not saying it's fake. It's definitely scripted. I love the way someone put it like that. They said it was scripted, not fake.
Right.
I like that. But I'm just saying like I thought it was real for a long time, you know? I
Right.
thought it was like not predetermined outcomes, you know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's the only part. I think maybe that's why people who don't watch like cartoons or anime, now, I think
Mm,
as an adult, I think that's where they fall off because to them, I think in their mind they might be, this isn't real, right? This
right.
isn't something that I can say, oh, look what's happening to Jimmy right there, right?
Yeah.
Versus it's like it's a cartoon character,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
but the scenarios are real. Like
Yeah.
some, I mean, obviously not all of them, right?
Yeah, right.
But the underlining message or story is something that you might have experienced
Right.
or you've seen something happen like that, or if it's a more elaborate version of something that's real.
Yeah.
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 So I
No,
don't I don't see why someone wouldn't see that.
no, it's crazy. And again, there's some that have adult themes. Like you don't have to
Right.
watch, you don't have to again, you don't have to watch like Bobby's World. You can watch like Ninja Scroll, something like Ninja Scroll,
Yeah.
and have you seen Ninja Scroll? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I
Oh yeah.
have I have that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Everyone has it. I have it on DVD too. So
Yeah.
it's but yeah, that's not for kids. That's not for
No.
kids. It's not for kids at all. It's like that's
No.
not for children, dude. That's like, and there's so many like that are just dope and brutal, and the themes
Yeah.
that they go into. And it doesn't have to be that. It could be Paprika or Belle or like
Oh, yeah.
How's Moving Castle or like you know
Hmm.
what I mean, like where they explore these like deeper themes of
Right.
existence. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think there's
Right.
value in that. And you just kind of I don't know. But I
So
do understand. It's like when someone just can't, like factually, physically, they already know, like, no, 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 it's not that I don't want to. It's like my brain doesn't let me, like, it just doesn't. And I already know it doesn't because I already know how I am. So then they're like, I know going
right.
into an animation, like, I'm going to be sitting there and I can't not think it's an animation because it is. It's like you just don't give a shit. For some reason, my brain is like, not, is like, no, this is an animation, like it's an animation still. And then you don't really have anything to refute that because it is an animation. It is, you're right. I mean, you're right, it's not,
Right.
again, it's scripted, but the emotions are still real, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
um it's
But see,
2D,
so
but the emotions are real.
but if someone is able, so I would suggest for those who don't watch anime or cartoon movies, whatever the case may be, I would suggest like Googling or fucking listening to our podcast and
Hmm.
and and hearing like those certain key ones where like, dude, this is like this doesn't miss, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And and say, hey, just sit through it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the end, you might not like it still, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But I think I challenge those people to tell me that the overall story wasn't real. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can say I don't like how something is done,
Hmm.
but you can't appreciate how it gets there.
Yeah, right,
You
right,
get what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, no, for sure. So like I think 2 points I was gonna make. So like one, before I forget, I think the equivalent is like The Substance. I don't know if you saw The Substance with Demi Moore. So
I didn't. No.
okay, so it's a new one. You know, it's
Right.
like independently made, I think. I'm pretty sure it
Mhm.
was because it was like a smaller scale film. But anyways, I personally did not like the film. I did not like the film. I will say that the last 15 minutes is some of the most spectacular cinema I've ever seen, ever.
Wow.
And I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just saying that
Okay.
ending was insane, insane. And so, what I was gonna say is that I really appreciated The Substance, and I'm glad that I watched it. I probably won't watch it again because I know what it is, and you know whatever.
Right.
But I really appreciated not only the technique and how it was shot; it was amazing. The screenplay was really good. The themes were really good. The acting was really good. It was literally just the story didn't hit with me. Like that's it.
Okay.
It wasn't like the way it was made was bad because it was made well. You know,
Right.
but it just literally just the story I did not connect. I wasn't rooting for anyone. I wasn't like, not that I have to be, but you know, there was just I was
Yeah.
just a lot where I was like, I'm not really whatever. And then whoa, dude. And then the ending was just like, oh my God. And then you're glad you saw it, you know? And so
Yeah.
that was
Would you
kind of like
recommend it?
my huh?
Would
What?
you recommend it?
I would recommend a single watch. Yeah, I would. I would say you got to watch that one at least once in your life because you just got like what happens
Yeah.
there. I feel like later is gonna get referenced, like how you're saying, like the power slide in Akira, and like there's, it's just something you have to. It's spectacular, bro. I'm telling you, like, and then the way they did it. Again, if you appreciate film and the way films are made, sure, I didn't like the movie overall, but like, dude, if you've ever been on a film set, like to get some of those shots, like to do
Mhm.
what they did is just like, whoa, dude, like that
Right.
is that is great. You guys did a good
Yeah.
job, right? Like really well made, you know?
So even that in and of itself, then I think if you're willing to say, "Hey, you should watch this movie once," I think that's a good movie, at least. You know, like I think it's because to me, it's like if it wasn't good at all, like you'd be like, don't waste your time, or if it's on TV, kind of listen here and there. But you're actively saying like I would tell somebody at least watch it once.
Well, no, and the reason I would dispute what you say is because we would recommend like somebody that hasn't seen The Room. We would recommend The Room, you know.
True,
So like it
but you
doesn't
have to watch
always
that at
have to
least
be.
once.
Yeah, and that movie is shit. Is like is just shit. It's absolute garbage.
But but the thing about The Room is, I think if you watch it once, you're gonna want to watch it again.
Yeah, yeah. Because the
It's like a
first time you're
gateway
just,
drug.
yeah, I know. Because the first time you're just like, the whole time you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what,
Yeah,
bro? And then the second time you can kind of laugh and you're like,
right.
oh, and you're just like laughing. But that first
Yeah.
time you're just like, what, what, dude? You know? But
The
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 uh-huh,
room
yeah,
the room is a fucking like a peer pressure drug.
yeah,
You're
it
like, come on,
is.
just one hit, man.
Just one time.
Woo!
Just one time.
You're just
Yeah.
like in it, and you're like, I
Yeah.
love this stuff.
But it's funny. Who was that? That was Tommy Wiseau, right? The
Yeah,
director and
yeah.
writer. Yeah, I
But
think he made other movies
because
that
of
were
that,
also bad. Huh?
right? But because of that, then they made the not mockumentary, but yeah, the mockumentary, right? Kind of or documentary version with
It was like a biopic, like you
right,
know, it
right
was like a
with
remake
Franco.
biopic. Yeah, with Franco.
Yeah,
I heard that was good though.
you didn't see that one?
I didn't see that one.
That was
Yeah.
the Disaster Artist. Yeah.
The Disaster Artist. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah.
I think if you've watched The Room, I think that's worth watching too because you're just like you see kind of like how it was supposed to be
Uh
and you
huh.
can kind of get more of appreciation of like damn, like this is where this fool really wanted to take it, you know? But
Whoa. Okay.
it
Uh
didn't
huh.
work out.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And that you know, and that's the fear, like when, you know, our job as we're acting in this Poncho movie, but like that's our job, right? Is like just to come show up and do our best way to act, and hopefully in the editing room, like we give enough good shots
Right.
where like someone can has something to work with, and then it ends up
But you
appealing to
know,
somebody.
right, but I don't feel like that. So what so here's my thing. Like when we watch or when I watch, like animated movies and they're in like a certain language,
Hmm.
like and this goes for other movies too. Like just, live action film, but like I always have to watch it in its native language. You know what I'm
Of
saying? Like,
course, of course.
right? Like,
Yeah,
but I feel like even more so in animation. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
like like when like if you watch a live action and someone's talking, you can see their well actually no. Well, I feel like maybe you can see more of the social cues or the cues in the face to where they have to say certain things a certain way, right? But in
Right,
animation, it's not always so expressive. Like
right.
there are those that are very expressive, but there
Hmm.
are some that you're like, the mouth barely moves a little bit, but when someone dubs it over, it just doesn't do it justice. Like you can
It
tell
doesn't.
that they're reading the line or just being like, I think they're angry. Oh, they're angry here. Let me try to reduplicate it, replicate
Yeah,
it.
I agree, and but that's the thing is that that's the not the big debate. I think it's pretty much a consensus where like people like the native language even in anime because but the reason why it's bad in anime like because they can change the whole story and we wouldn't know. Like
Right.
they can change like the whole way a scene is composed and we would have no idea. That's why I like it in the native tongue because then it's like no, this is how it was made originally. They didn't cut any scenes. They didn't crop anything. This is just what
Right.
it is. I have to read like quickly. Boo hoo. Like I don't know. For me, that doesn't. It does nothing. Like
Yeah. It's
I
not.
don't care. Subtitles don't bother me at all. You know.
The only thing about subtitles that bothers me is now I'm looking down
Mm,
versus like at everything as a whole.
yeah. Yeah.
Like it usually isn't that bad, but there's sometimes like there's things where I'm just like, oh man, like that little detail that maybe no one cares for, maybe the director put it there or the writer, but like I wouldn't notice because I'm like, it says, oh, Jimmy is now going to the room to check on Samantha. Oh, but I wouldn't have seen it because I wasn't looking up.
Well, then maybe that's the thing is like that's the give and take. So then you listen to it in your native tongue and you don't have to have subtitles and you just stare at everything that you want to stare at. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're just like, oh, I'm not missing anything. I'm not missing anything. you know, it's like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't know,
But
but I was just gonna say like, man, there's just I can't get over the fact that there's people that just won't watch like animated movie. Like I don't
yeah,
I think the consensus is that people think it's for kids, you
yeah, they
know?
think it's for kids. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's age appropriate things. Like, I think
Right,
the equivalent would be like if you examine like a book lover, let's say, right? So someone that loves
mm,
books, right? And they just
right,
read books all day. They love books, just like someone loves movies, right? They love movies,
right,
right? And then someone says, read trust me, trust me. This is to all the viewers too, and you too if you have not done this. Read
mm,
Berserk. Read the manga
oh,
Berserk. Read it all the
yeah,
way through. It's doable. It's doable. If you haven't, you should start today, tomorrow. You should
that
start
shit is
now.
crazy.
I'm no,
Yeah,
I'm afterwards you'll thank me. Afterwards you'll be
no,
like,
Berserk is crazy. Yeah,
Berserk is nuts, dude. And imagine someone just the book lover just being like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't read manga. I don't." And Berserk is one of the best stories I've ever read in my life. It's one of the best I've ever read in my life, right? Like
right,
ever of all time. And I read books, I read comic books, I read graphic novels, I read all kinds of freaking things. But what I'm saying is that's one of the best I've ever read ever. And so imagine just not reading that story because it's in a like it's slightly in a
right.
different form that you don't like and it's I don't know that to me that's bonkers like that's
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers to me
Fucking missing
if you
out
haven't
for
got
sure.
to if you haven't got to it it's one thing but if you're like choosing to go out of your way not to consume it it's like
Right.
Dude, what? And everyone who's read Berserk will agree with me. Say it in the comments if you confirm. Berserk is
Okay.
one of the best stories of all time. And
Right.
so, yeah,
And the
that
anime itself is fucking amazing too. So
the anime's great. The anime's great.
yeah.
You know, there's some a little bit better than the others. You know, they do it in the parts, but
Right.
it's great. Also, it's great. It's great storytelling too. It's the animation is amazing, and Guts, of
Yeah.
course, is so dope, dude. He's one of the best characters ever created, and yeah, and that's dark, dude. That's dark. It's so dark,
Yeah.
and it's not for kids. It's not for kids. It is, like I said, it's one of the best I've ever seen, but it is some of the darkest stuff I've ever
Right.
seen in a story too. Also, it's like it's really dark, you know. And so, you know, obviously I
Yeah.
recommended it, but now I'm thinking about it, and like you should be able to stomach it too. Like understand,
Right.
like you're gonna go in, you're gonna it's heavy. It's not like lighthearted reading, like you know, Power Rangers or something like that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, but again, that argument of like it's for kids, and it's like Berserk. You would show that to a child? Like, there's no way.
No. No.
There's no way.
You
You
know,
know.
I think the other part too, like if so there's those who just, again, you can't break them, right?
Mm,
But there are those who are like, oh, like I don't watch cartoons or whatever because I'm more into action or martial arts or whatever the case may be term in terms of like visuals, right?
mm, mm,
I feel like, yes, you can CGI stuff with live action and all that, right? Which sometimes that takes me out of it, right? If that the CGI has to be immaculate for me to know that this fool is standing right here talking to this thing, right?
mm.
But like in anime, because it's all animated, that already takes that out of the equation. And on top of that, there are things that you couldn't do ever with
Ever,
humans.
ever.
Like
Yeah,
some of the most mind-blowing fight scenes or
yeah,
choreographed scenes are in anime,
yeah,
in something animated. Like
yeah. Right,
whether it be total CGI or fucking like just, 2D drawings. Like
right,
mind-blowing. Like you were talking about Invincible, right?
right.
And I've seen, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this too, but like we've seen crazy, kills and death scenes and battles in real time, or like what is it, real live action and
Yeah,
in anime, right?
right,
And
right.
and every so often I'm like wowed by like how you can get somebody to disappear,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
disappear. So
Right,
like I'm specifically talking about the fucking scene in season one of, I mean, at this point you should have at least seen season one of
right,
Invincible, but
right, right.
um but it's in the comic too. But when he fucking puts him in the train
Oh my goodness, dude.
and the train is coming through, like all dude, I
Whoa,
was
dude.
watching that scene
Yeah,
and I thought I've seen like all the ways you can fucking kill a person in
yeah,
animes and stuff.
yeah.
I was,
Blown
for lack
away.
of a better word, flabbergasted. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah,
watching it and I was just
yeah.
like, what
Y-
the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah,
To see somebody who's invincible and can't be like their skin can't really be penetrated,
yeah.
but all of these humans' flesh is getting dissolved on the
It's
body.
all. Yeah, yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I would have never thought that. Like, I was just
And you
like, that was fucking crazy.
There's so much I want to say, especially about the last
Oh,
season, dude. Especially because of what you just brought up. Like, and everybody who's seen Invincible knows exactly what I'm talking about. And so, if you
dude,
thought that
there's
was
levels.
there,
There's levels to
that
this shit.
there, yeah, yes, yes, but like that was the standard. Like what you're talking about, I understand. For me, also was like, whoa, this is the new bar. You know, they
Right.
I don't want to say anything, but it's just you'll see when you get to it. But it's so crazy, dude. But yeah, how he's holding Mark and like in slow motion, the train is splitting, and the people in the train are literally like flesh bags, and they're just like
Yeah.
popping and exploding. Like what?
Water
And
balloons.
he's not flying through. He's literally just standing, holding his face.
Right.
It like
Yeah.
what the brutality is so crazy dope. It's so nuts. It's like
Yeah.
what?
They're
It's so
exploding like fucking meat sacks
water.
or water
Yeah,
balloons.
water balloons. Yeah, they're humans
Just
just like popping. You would never be able to do that in live action. Not only would it be difficult to do in live action and make it look real, but like, would they ever greenlight something like that? I don't even think they would
right,
greenlight something like that. Like, at least a big studio, right? Like, I don't think,
right.
it was hard.
But
It
but
was
but
like kicking and screaming. It took Deadpool forever, and like he just cusses
right,
sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and uses swords. Like, get the heck out of here, dude. It's
No, and
crazy.
and in that scene, not only was it like like a crazy ass fucking kill, right? Like death scene for these people, but like the amount of emotion the dude the dude is holding his son's face
His
and
son's
saying, "Hey,
face.
yeah, you want to be a hero? Be
Yeah.
a hero now."
Yeah.
And you
Be a hero
can't do
now.
shit to
You
stop
can't
the
do
dad. Like
anything,
he's just fucking crying and like, ah,
dude.
dude, like,
And he's like he's like it's torture because he wants to save these humans, and it's
yeah,
like
and he can't.
his face front row like is also his body is the reason they're popping and exploding, and like
Yeah.
you can't move because Omni-Man's just holding him like the trains just flip. Dude, man, this is crazy. Oh,
For those, for
uh-huh.
I was gonna say for those that haven't seen season one,
Mhm.
I'm sorry that I that
Oh
I've
yeah,
I've
yeah,
I've
yeah,
I've ruined it, but at the same time, like watching it, you just be like, oh shit, like no, this is fucking crazy, you know?
yeah.
Like
Have you
I'm
read
gonna go
the
watch it right now. I'm
yeah
gonna go watch it. All right. See it.
dude? No, have you read the comics for Invincible?
No, so that was the thing. Like I had heard of it. Actually, no, I'll be honest. I had never heard of Invincible.
Okay.
And then it came out and I was like, oh, but like, instantly when they're saying like Invincible, blah, blah, I did like,
Yeah, you
like
look it up.
two click
Yeah,
two clicks
yeah,
of research and I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, this has been a thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shout out to fucking Seth Rogen who's bringing these things more, to light because he brought Walking Dead. Fucking what else did he bring? He brought something else that I didn't know existed. Oh, fucking The Boys.
Oh, the
He
boys.
he
That's
helped.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
and I think The Boys would probably be the closest that you can get to some of the shit that
true,
is happening
true.
in live action, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's true. That's true.
Right.
Funny, huh? Funny how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even The Boys is not touching Invincible. Like
it's not. It's not.
it
No, it isn't. It gets
yeah.
close and it attempts, and it's cool,
Yeah.
but
It is
it's
yeah, it's
not
dope.
touching Invincible.
Yeah, man. Now I gotta go watch it. Yeah, Invincible is fucking dope.
Did you
So I have
finish
a
the?
question.
Uh huh. Yeah. Okay, shoot, shoot.
No, but go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, have you read The Boys or no,
No, so that was
or
one
finished
that
the
one I
show?
did know.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one was one I did know, but I didn't read.
Okay. But what did the show? Did
Yeah.
you finish the show or no?
Don't say anything because
Yeah.
I want to say I did, but I actually don't now remember, and I
Yeah,
don't
because
want
the seasons start blending.
right. And
Yeah.
it's funny because it's like oh like I like film, I like this, yeah yeah yeah, and it's like
Mm.
all the things we talk about. I'm like I haven't seen it, don't know what that
Yeah.
is. Like
Yeah.
fucking who's that? Don't like
Who's
Nicole
it?
Kidman.
What are you talking
Don't
about?
like
Yeah.
movies. Yeah, I'm just a faker. I don't fucking
Yeah.
like anything. We're talking about me. I don't like anime.
Yeah, you know, like the whole time this was I don't know if you guys got it, but it was
Yeah,
really about
I
Saga
don't
over
like
here.
any of this shit.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't
No,
even
that's
like
good.
talking to you. I don't know
Yeah,
why this
no.
is happening. This is my fucking community service. I had to do community service hours.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm here.
No one asked for this. Not one person.
No. But yeah, like I just can't like because to me it goes and it goes to any medium.
Mm,
If you tell me something is dope,
mm.
of course within reason, like I have to kind of trust your judgment a little at least,
Right.
you know.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't tell me like Barney is the greatest story ever told and then say,
Hmm.
"Hey, go watch this."
Hmm.
Because then
Hmm.
I probably watch it just because I'm curious to see like where your parameters lie, but
Yeah, but after a bunch of those, then you're like, yeah, maybe
right.
Daniel's just not it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like if you tell me, "Hey, like check out this song." I'll
Hmm.
check it out. You
Right.
know, like
Right.
like again, like I know you're the same. Like you're you said I think you said vessel, right? You want to be this vessel of like experiencing these mediums, right?
Yeah. Right. The different
And it's
vessels.
like
I wanna go on those
right.
rides. You know. Yeah.
And to me, it's like the best stories to me is something that I can enjoy and not have any relation to, you know?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because to me it's like it's easy to get me with like some sad shit like, oh, his dad passed or something that connects, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you can get me on something that I'm like, damn, like I don't have any attachment to that. Like
Mm.
that to me is like fucking like chef's kiss, you know? Because it's like, dude,
Right.
I have because again, we're gonna gravitate to things that are comfortable, things that we know. Um, but if you're getting me like, I just can't wait for more and more, and I have like nothing invested,
Yeah.
is that's that perfect line to me, where it's like, damn, like you got me on something that I didn't even know I wanted, you
That's
know?
true. Yeah. That's true.
You know,
I mean, but that's the crazy thing is like, you know, when you're telling stories, they don't all hit you the same or for the same reason, right? If we look at Superman, like we don't relate to Superman, so
I do,
like yeah,
I
but
do,
you know what I mean? But he's not meant to be related. He's meant to like he's meant as a character you should strive to be, not he's not a character that you relate to and then you know what I mean? Like so
right,
there's certain characters that yeah, you relate to them and their flaws and their achievements or whatever and their abilities, but there's others that aren't really meant for that. They're more meant as like an example or just to tell a certain story, right? Because I mean,
right,
if you look at something like Superman, right, his powers are infinite and like he can't lose. We know he can't lose, but he'll maybe not fight as good or as hard or as focused if like Lois Lane is held hostage, right? So it's more like an interpersonal, like that's how we relate to him.
right,
His like humanity is he's not human, but like his humanity is like what we relate to. Him is someone we try to strive to be so that we can deal with our own issues, right? But like
right,
you know we don't relate to him like we would relate, and I guess we don't relate to Spider-Man anymore, but when we were in high school we related to Spider-Man, right? You know, he's like a high school kid and he's trying to juggle like taking a third period test and has a final and prom,
right.
but he also has to fight the Sinister Six and you know Kingpin and all this other
Right.
stuff, you know what I mean? So
I had to fight those
it's
guys. Yeah, I remember those
yeah, no,
times.
true, true.
Yeah,
Now they're
Scorpion
running
was my
rampant because you
biggest.
lost.
Wait, what?
They're running rampant now because you lost. You got your ass
Yeah.
kicked.
No, I said I felt like they were people too, and they needed to do their own thing.
Oh,
I didn't
dude,
want to
yeah,
hold them back.
yeah. So
Who am I?
you're a libtard.
So stupid. Oh man.
You're an extreme you're extreme leftist.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's funny.
No sentence for them. They're just humans.
They're
Let
not
them
human. That's
through.
why they don't get the sentence.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
They are people
Exactly.
too.
They're people too, man.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh
you know,
man.
I was gonna say
Hmm.
no. I don't know. No, I don't know. I feel
What?
like it's just wild when people just don't want to consume something that has already been approved. You know.
Well, especially as a like again, like it's the same thing that I was kind of saying. It's the same type of like I don't know if this is the right word, but it's the same type of like gatekeeping, right? Like you're it's the same
Mm,
type of gatekeeping that I was trying to say like for animation or manga or country or like it's just like and I get you, I'm not saying that because you like country songs now you have to say, "Oh, I love country." You know what I mean?
right.
But at least like you're saying, like if someone's like this country jam is sick, and even if you acknowledge and we grant that you've hated all country songs beforehand, if this person's like no this one though I swear I'm telling you dude this one,
Right.
what why not take 3 minutes to like listen to it and just once and then be like now you have your own opinion and then you say like no that sucks just like the rest of them, you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's like how you're saying, like, because even if it's a classic song, like I don't know, like if you have Hank Williams or Merle Haggard, right, or Johnny Cash, right, like
Mhm.
even if they're songs that you don't like, they're still songs of the zeitgeist, right? They're still songs that kind of influenced other songs, and kind of like
Right.
people have been inspired to make movies or comic books about them or whatever it is, you know. But people take inspiration from these, and so even if we grant that you're never gonna like any country song or rock song or animation or manga
Yeah.
or comic books, it's like once it's been approved, like you're saying, like the culture has been like, no, this is part of like where we grab inspiration from. Like even if I don't think it's something, like let's say I don't like manga, I'm gonna read it
Right.
at least once to be like, oh, that's what people are talking about. Like even if I didn't like Star Wars because I don't like sci-fi, maybe that takes me out of it, right? I'm just like,
Right.
guys with lasers, get the heck out of here. You know, I'm too, I don't believe that. I'm too old now. You know what I mean? But like,
Right.
why not watch it? Because so many things are influenced by that thing. I'm not saying you even have to like it after it. Just watch it once. Watch it,
Right.
go through it, watch it, and be like, oh, this is what people are talking about. Yeah, it still sucks. It still sucks. It still sucks. You know what I mean? But like, at least you can say it now. You can say it.
Right.
You can now say, like, it sucks. It does
Right.
suck. It's my
Yeah.
opinion, and you have reasons to back that up, et cetera, et cetera. You know,
Right.
but it's very much part of our embedded in our culture. You know.
Kind of like this podcast, right? You have to at least listen to it or watch it once, at least,
Yeah.
to know
Just
that nobody asked for this, but you gotta listen.
nobody asked for this. Then you watch it, and you're like, oh yeah, nobody asked for this. Nobody.
Yeah.
Block.
You know? Blah.
Like, no, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
that's
But
funny.
yeah, but I guess we'll cut it off there. Just reminding everybody to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff. We're on everything. We're on Instagram. We're
Right.
on TikTok. We're on YouTube. You know,
You know, I would say in the comments, maybe there's something that, animated related that we haven't seen, or something that you're like, dude, I saw this and it changed my life or whatever, but leave it in the comment, because I'm always down again, like, and I know you are, to always see. I had seen before we wrap up, there was this YouTube video that I saw, and they were picking like movies from like this closet or something. I think you know what it is, and we'll talk about it after. But
yeah,
um, they were like pulling movies, and they were showing like, oh, I'm gonna have to take this one home. I'm gonna borrow this one. And there was a couple movies that I wrote down because I was like, dude, I had never even heard of this movie.
right,
But just based off of their reaction, I was
right.
like, oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah, yeah, you throw it on the
Yeah.
watch list. That's the Criterion Closet. If you guys want to know, check that out. But he's
Yes,
talking about the Criterion Closet. Yeah,
that's the
but
one.
and it's so dope. It's really dope. I
Right.
get a lot of recs from there. But yeah, like Saga
Right.
said, if you guys have any recs for me or for him or for just the viewers out there, please leave animation recs in the comments. Definitely like, comment, share, subscribe.
Right.
Where can they find you, Saga?
You can find me on Instagram, freaking Spotify, Saga MC. Let's get it. Anywhere.
There we,
I'm
there we
everywhere.
go. All right, same, same. All right, until next time, guys. Peace out.